I am recording. This is a recording in the car. Oh.
Does it follow everybody's face or just yours?
I don't know. If we go over here,
well,
it looks like we're far away, even though I'm just holding it out. That's so crazy. Okay, let's stop it. Ready? Hi everyone, my name is Marissa. I am a certified personal trainer and future registered dietitian. At the beginning of this year, I made a video about how I went from an A cup to a C cup through nutrition and exercise. You often hear girls boast about how they got a bigger butt through weightlifting when I experienced a bigger chest also through weightlifting. But in that video, I left out two major details and I want to talk about them. It will provide so much more context and be much more helpful to you knowing what you'll know after watching this video and help you to see the results that you want. If you're new here, I talk about all things health and fitness. I review influencer workouts to help you find the best fit for you. We talk about nutrition too, and as I become a dietitian, I will be adding more nutrition content to my channel as I continue to learn and educate myself on the amazing world of food. If you like any of that, definitely subscribe. I gotta be honest, one of these topics that we'll be going over is gonna be really hard for me to talk about, so I'm gonna leave that until the end and push more of the helpful content to the beginning of this video. So let's get started. So in my first video, I didn't tell you what exercises I did to see the results I got, which you would think that that's the first thing I would do, but I got so wrapped up in talking about my fitness journey and how I was eating that I totally forgot. And I tried to salvage it by listing some of the exercises in the description of the video and pinning a comment telling you to look in the description, but of course not everybody sees that, so I thought it would be much more helpful for me to, one, go over each exercise in detail that I do on a weekly basis and also show me doing these exercises, not just talking about them, so you can have that visual and attach the name of the exercise to the movement so you can apply it to your real life. I am so sorry for leaving that out. I know that was a huge detail that I should have thought about. We are going to separate the movements into compound movements and isolation movements. Compound movements work more than one muscle at a time, whereas isolation exercises do exactly what they say. They isolate a specific muscle group. Let's talk about the compound movements first. These are the movements that you want to put at the beginning of your workout routine and then save the isolation exercises for the end. The first one I want to talk about is bench press, and you can do bench press with a flat bench or an incline, even a decline bench, but I'm not going to talk too much about that one because I personally don't do decline bench. I stay with regular flat bench and incline. Really, the biggest difference between flat bench and incline is that with incline, you're working more of your upper chest, and that's what I really like because I can see the chest muscles up here, which really helps with the overall appearance of having a larger chest. The main muscles worked during a bench press are chest, triceps, and shoulders. And keep in mind, I'm going to be using some of the scientific names, I'll throw them in there, but also the layman's terms, just because if I say anterior deltoid, not everyone is going to know what I'm talking about, so I'd rather just say shoulders, but the anterior deltoids are the ones right here at the front. The bench press works pectorals, the anterior deltoid, and the triceps, which are right here. But of course, like anything, it's not as simple as it seems. There's also a difference between wide grip and narrow grip bench press, which I do both of. Wide grip can be easier because you have a shorter range of motion. So if your hands are out here and you lower down, you have a shorter distance to go versus if you were up here and lowering all the way down. That's the main difference. The wide grip places more emphasis on the chest muscles, where the narrow grip is more of an even mix of chest, shoulders, and triceps. So they're both very, very beneficial, but I wanted to bring that up in case you wanted to incorporate both into your routine. Next, let's talk about dumbbell chest press. Very similar movement to the traditional bench press. You can also do incline chest press. I don't do decline chest press, but I do flat bench chest press and incline. And you can do these with, I do these either with dumbbells or a machine. Some days I'll use the machine, other days I'll use dumbbells. And you can even use cables. When I have clients who do not have gym access and they have the resistance bands with handles, I will have them do chest press with the bands. You definitely want to add dumbbell chest press into your routine because they are more challenging than bench. They require more work from your stabilizing muscles, and you're working in an increased range of motion, so you can go further down and back up. Let me show you this way. So with regular bench, you're going straight up and down. With your dumbbell chest press, you can go all the way up here and all the way down here. So it's an increased range of motion, making it more challenging, just as how the narrow grip bench press is more challenging than wide grip. So you want all of the different things. You don't have to do them all in the same day. I don't do them all in the same day, but mix them up within your routine. And of course, back to talking about those stabilizing muscles. Since the dumbbells are separate from each other, you have to focus on both arms, making sure that you're going down evenly and pushing up evenly, and it requires much more work from those stabilizing muscles. So even though the primary movers are the chest, shoulders, and triceps, you're going to be using some of your back, your core, and all of that to stabilize the movement. Next on the list, we have dips. Not my favorite exercise, to be honest. They are very challenging, but you can do them assisted using a machine like you see in the video. There is an assisted pull-up machine that you can also use for dips at most gyms. But of course, you want to work your way up to doing regular body weight dips. Then after that, you can start working towards weighted dips, where you attach a weight to a belt that hangs off your hips. I am not at that level yet. It's pretty funny when I'm struggling with my regular dips and my boyfriend is over here strapping 45 pounds to his body when he's already over 200 pounds doing these dips. More power to him. The pectorals are the major muscles worked with this exercise, but it also works the shoulders, triceps, core, and back. But of course, there is not only one way to do dips. There are chest dips and tricep dips. And of course, just like the name suggests, the chest dips focus more of the energy on the chest, whereas the tricep dips work your triceps more. The difference is how you lower yourself down in that position. Tricep dips, you are going straight up and down, whereas with chest dips, you're leaning over in this fashion. I feel like I didn't take a video of me doing tricep dips. You'll see in the video of me doing body weight dips, I was doing chest dips, so I'm leaned over. If you want to work your chest, do them like that. However, if you want to work your triceps more, do them straight. I want to make that distinction because I don't want you to go into the gym, start doing tricep dips thinking that it's going to work your chest. And lastly, for compound lifts, we have push-ups. Another very challenging body weight exercise, but of course you can do them on your knees. I don't like calling them girly push-ups. That annoys me. They are push-ups nonetheless, but you can work your way up to more challenging push-ups in a plank position. And then of course, have someone sit on your back if that's too easy for you, or add a plate to your back. And the muscles worked are very similar to dips, with the primary focus being on the chest. And now we can dive into isolation exercises. This is a very minimal list, to be honest. All I have on my list that I do personally are chest flies. And I say I do personally because I know there are different variations out there, but really, this is how I saw results. I truly think this is all you need for chest-focused exercises. You can do chest flies with either cables or dumbbells, and I usually do them with cables. The primary muscles worked are the pectorals, and the secondary muscles worked are the anterior deltoids. But other than that, those are the main muscles you'll find having a really nice burn at the end of your flies. You can do them straight out like this, or you can do high cable or low cable flies. I took videos of each of these. You basically just set up your cables higher or lower and then pull in the opposite direction of where the cables are. And this will switch between you working your mid chest, your upper chest, and your lower chest. So I do a little bit of both, but usually stick to one of the three during my workout on any given day. That way you get to isolate your chest muscles and really hone in on them and focus on that mind-muscle connection. You know how The Rock can bounce his pectorals and move them? That's because he has a really solid mind-muscle connection, because he works them enough and strengthens them and feels them working. Always wanted to do that. I'm not gonna show it on camera, but I can finally say that I can do it a little bit. You have to look really hard, but I can do it, and it is a great feeling. But of course, like I stated in my first video, working your chest will allow for that muscle growth, and that will lift your girls, making them appear perkier, but also filling out your chest up here. Ever since I started cutting weight, so eating in a slight calorie deficit, I have noticed a little bit of the fullness go away from the fat that I lost, but I still have my upper chest muscles doing some of the work and making up for what I lost. Just as a little in between, I want to talk about a fallacy that I hear a lot when I talk about growing your chest through exercise and nutrition. I hear a lot of people say that you can't grow your chest through exercise or nutrition. That's why female bodybuilders get breast implants. Well, let me explain something about the fitness world. Female bodybuilders, specifically those who do bikini competitions, have to get to a very low body fat percentage in order to compete. They are working with their essential fat stores, so the absolute bare minimum to keep their body functioning, and most people don't ever reach that threshold, and that's a good thing because you need fat. If you are working your chest and you have fat in your breast area, you can see results. When female bodybuilders get to such a low body fat percentage, they lose most or all of the fat in their breasts. That's why they often get implants. It's a show look. So yeah, if your goal is to have an extremely low body fat percentage, become a bodybuilder, and compete in bikini competitions, you might want to look into getting a breast augmentation in the future. But that's not the case for the majority of people who work out, especially those that just work out for fun, recreationally, like I do. Even when I cut weight, I don't cut weight to the point where you can see my 8-pack. So yes, you can grow your chest through nutrition and exercise. And of course, when you're bulking, eating more calories, and gaining fat, you're gonna see more growth in that area. Our bodies are gonna change over time no matter what. So don't be too worried on the tiny details. But I wanted to talk about that because that's just a comment that I've seen that is super annoying to me, because not everybody has the goal of being a bodybuilder. Now, to talk about the other detail I left out in my previous video, and frankly on all of my social medias up until a few months ago. When I filmed that first video, I was on birth control. I was on birth control for a year, which equates to 1/2 of the time I have spent weightlifting. The reason I left that detail out was because I was trying to hide it from certain people close to me in my life. There were people that I know personally that I didn't want to know that I was using birth control. And out of fear of them finding out through the internet that I was on it, I kept it secret from everybody, including you. That's in the past. I have been off birth control since February, and the only difference I've seen is a little less fullness on the upper part of my chest, the fatty area. When I was on birth control, they were much more filled out. I filled out all of my bras and they sort of pushed together. And that's why that original video of mine on TikTok went super viral, because you could clearly see that. Some people may wonder, well, did you go back to a B cup or even an A cup like when you started your fitness journey? Was your chest growth all because of the birth control? And it wasn't. I'm still a C cup. The only difference is I don't fill out my bras as much as I did when I was on it. But I understand if you are upset or angry. In my books, lying by omission is just as bad as lying, and I am just so sorry. I knew I was gonna talk about it eventually, but I wanted to wait until I had come off of it, and now I know that my hormones are back on track, and this is my body not on medications. The size of my chest did change, but it's also because I have been eating less calories. So a combination of eating less calories and getting off birth control was what caused my breasts to lose their fullness. And on the flip side, me being on birth control and eating in a calorie surplus is what caused them to grow so big so fast. I really truly did not mean to mislead anybody, and what I am telling you does not disqualify any what I have said about growing your chest through nutrition and exercise. Every single thing I put in my first video is true. Everything that I put in this video was true. I just omitted that one detail. I felt really guilty about it. There were a couple people I didn't want to find out about it, so that meant that nobody could find out about it. So I just want you to know it wasn't out of ill intent or to intentionally mislead my audience. I would never want to do that, and you know that I never want to mislead anybody. That's also why I stated in my first video I would not make a grow your chest workout or grow your chest program. Everyone's results are going to be different. Everyone's genetics are different. At the end of the day, I am still very confident and happy with my results. Yeah, it was nice for them to be a little bigger for a short amount of time, but I'm very happy with where I'm at, and again, I am sorry. I don't know how anyone is going to take it. Some people might say it's no big deal because it doesn't negate anything else that I had told you guys and provided information on, and others might think it's a huge deal because it's still lying at the end of the day, which I understand if you are upset with me. I hope I can still gain your trust after letting you know. From here on out, I am going to be super transparent online, but there's also certain health information about my mental health that I choose not to share due to my own privacy and well-being. And that was one of them at the time. So I felt very conflicted putting out a video about how to transform your chest while knowing that I'm leaving out such a big detail. But I knew the information I could put out would be super helpful to you guys, so I did it anyway, and I really wanted to make this follow-up video to clarify everything that I had left out. I really hope you got value out of this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. I will be making more helpful videos on fitness and nutrition in the future, and hope you'll stick around to see it. Have an amazing day, week, night, whenever you're watching this, and I will see you later.
You got this. 1, 2. What was that?
I miss so much.